Soul, a podcast of Madison Christian Church in Madison, Tennessee. We're talking about
your soul
and trying to figure out how to go through life well. Right now, we're talking about the human will. I'm Robin.
I'm Anna.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Devin.
This is Talia.
This is Jonathan.
This is Yvonne.
I'm Kevin.
Letter 23.
Consequences of our actions.
The foolish child insists on his own way, even to his own harm. You're better off having been trained to control your bladder and bowels, and learning to read, and learning not to touch the pretty blue flame on the gas stove. The little child might not understand why these things are better until years later. He has to follow instructions long before he understands why, and long before he wants to.
I want candy. I want candy.
As much candy as you want isn't a good idea.
Did you think the wise advice stopped when you were a toddler? No, I haven't outgrown good advice yet. I haven't met anyone who has. Many things that are good for me, I still don't understand.
I'll be glad when I get out of my parents' house so I don't have to listen to them anymore. I'm going to go someplace where I don't have to listen to people telling me what to do all the time. I'll get a job or get married or join the military. Nobody's going to tell me what to do.
It's the responsibility of parents to give directions that are good for the child. In addition to good rules, the parents need to set a good example. The parent who simply tries to win a battle with wills is showing his child an example of what not to do.
And if the parent is guided by his own self-interest, that's just worse. Both parent and child can be better off if the parent gives guidance that is good, not just motivated by the parent's self-will. But even if the parent misses that goal badly, the child usually is still best served by obeying and learning right from wrong as early as possible.
That stays true years later. There are a lot of pretty flames that young adults want to hold, and it isn't until much later that they comprehend that they shouldn't have done so, even if given an explanation. At the time, it may feel like their parents don't understand, they're unfair, and they're ruining the youth's enjoyment of life. Even if those accusations are true, even if the parents have all the wrong attitudes, I've seen great parenting and I've seen vile parenting. The pretty blue flames still burn.
All right, have the bank deposit done by 10. Be sure you do it.
I'm not going to. Who does he think he is to talk to me that way?
1 hour later.
Did you deposit that money, like I told you to?
I'll get to it.
Some payments bounced.
Oh well, that's not my problem.
I'll let you explain that to everybody then.
But what if you disregard what you're told because your desire is so strong? Is it everyone else's business? Who gets hurt? If you break the rules because you hate the rules, who gets burned? If you defy someone out of anger and resentment, who suffers? The answer is lots of people. You, your parents, and other people you wouldn't even expect all get hurt. If you exercise one particle of good sense, you won't be that foolish.
Don't let your will overpower your wisdom.
Your choices have results for more than only yourself. Someday, you may be responsible for a family, a church, a battlefield, a nation. Even if you aren't, your choices still have outcomes for lots of people, including people not even born yet.
And the actions of other people have consequences on us, both good and bad.
This also means the actions you take now will continue to have consequences for many years, probably beyond your lifetime.
We are willful at all ages of life. Sometimes what we want isn't good for us.
Oh, I told you to buy the other kind. You said it in the wrong place. The music is way too loud.
Quit complaining.
Nobody does things the way they're supposed to. Oh, if you would just do the things the way I want.
You're just too stubborn. Some of these things you want are really a bad idea. If you really got what you asked for, you would be in a mess.
One lesson we learn from consequences is think ahead. You can ask yourself, what is the foreseeable outcome of this action? Some outcomes will be more desirable than others. Some consequences are great.
Think ahead.
What would be a good thing in the future? What could I do to help that happen?
Forethought is good for getting desirable results instead of painful ones. If you learn from the mistakes of others, for example, you won't have to make these mistakes yourself.
Ask yourself what is likely to happen as a result of your actions. If you prepare for the future, you'll more likely overcome problems. If you have sex, then child raising is a foreseeable outcome. If you spend money you don't have, your money problems will become more difficult afterwards. If you do what you can to make yourself strong, that strength might last longer than you expect.
But you're stifling my freedom. That's not my personality. I need to be a free spirit.
You won't feel very free when those consequences come to you.
I want freedom without consequences.
You can take hold of your consequences by taking hold of your actions.
Consequences occur whether you believe in them or not. They are inescapable.
The existence of consequences is one reason I believe in God. Someone is coordinating all this matter around us. Molecules by themselves can't be expected to respond to our lives and choices and thoughts.
Aren't you glad you learned to control your bowel and bladder? Learned to read? Avoided the pretty blue flame? Similarly, you may someday be glad you listened to advice at this stage in your life, too.
Actions have consequences. If you're wise, you will anticipate them.